I wanted to preface what I'm about to say with that, just so that now everybody will repeat that, and absolutely nobody will quote me on what I'm about to say about the UK Championship match between Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, because they don't want to hear me like anything. Because all they want to do is bitch and whine and complain. I'm not talking about the cool people that listen to the show here. I'm talking about the idiots that just hear secondhand shit on Twitter and they have pictures of Kenny Omega or the Bullet Club, too sweet, on their fucking Twitter like little goddamn fanboy marks. And they all just want to knock me for not liking that horse shit. But if I like something, nobody's going to. So you're not going to hear any. This is an exclusive to the Jim Cornette Experience. You're not going to hear this anywhere else because it's positive. I watched the final match, didn't see the tournament, watched the final match because everybody was talking about it, especially our UK fans. And I've got to say, first of all, it's a great looking building. I was astonished at Michael Cole and William Regal. Well, not so much William Regal. I knew he was good, but they were a great.
No. It wasn't William Regal. It was Nigel McGuinness.
Was it? Well, I thought it was Regal. Shit. All right. Well, it was Nigel. Well, then Nigel, I know Nigel's great too. See, I never saw the on camera. And so there you go. But anyway, Nigel, I know was great because he did a great job for Ring of Honor. But I was astonished at Michael Cole. I was confused because I saw Regal in the ring afterwards when he helped award the belt. Right. That's what happened. I'm sorry. I was astonished. I've never heard Michael Cole call a wrestling match before. It was.
I kill him so often here on the show, talk about how bad he is and how unenjoyable he is. And there are elements of his presentation I still can't stand, specifically when they have him on camera and it's just, he's constantly in motion. His hands are constantly going. It's a way that broadcasters don't normally behave. But I got to say, I thought he did phenomenal for the main event, but that whole show actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you don't have people screaming in your ear to plug the fucking next commercial or whatever. But anyway, so Cole and Nigel were great as an announced team. They played it straight and seriously. But here's the thing on this match. Besides the fact, and I met both these guys when I was in England in October, and they're nice kids. Here's my one complaint. Tyler Bate, and he can't do anything about this except get older. He still looks like he's in grade school because he's 19 years old. And, so just visually, he doesn't look like the toughest son of a gun in the world. But age will change that. They did nice technical wrestling. They put effort into making everything mean something. They went in with the story of Bates' shoulder had been injured previously. They threw stiff forearms that looked good, not these bullshit flippers in between spots that nobody sells. The story of Pete Dunne working the bad arm was told all the way through the match, and they didn't drop it at all. But Bate at one point, he fires back with a right hand punch. And I've said last week, I said, these guys can do all these fucking flips and backdrops and moonsaults, can't throw a punch. Tyler Bate threw a great punch and then sold his hand, and Dunne sold it great. They did a great spot that got a huge round out of the crowd on an airplane spin spot, which was just really good and a nice twist. I won't spoil it for anybody. There was one big dive in the whole match, which meant something. And Tyler Bate did it, and he tried to win afterwards. Imagine that. Threw the guy back in the ring, tried to beat him. Imagine that. Then they went through some nice false finishes that the people bought. Tyler Bate, and once again, to be a younger guy and not that big, he is stronger than Waffle House coffee. I mean, just some of the things that he did where he was just muscling Dunne up where Dunne didn't have to help him, which contributed to the look of the thing. And finally, Tyler Bate had been trying for his finish the whole time, but couldn't get it because of his arm. And finally, he got it, and he won with his finish. Holy shit. What a concept. I think Pete Dunne may have impressed me more all around. He's got a great heel face and some great heel expressions, and I may have gone with Dunne to win the thing just visually because he's a little bit more intimidating visually, physically, and he looks a little bit older, but both guys did a great job. I didn't have a problem with either guy winning it. And like I said, Tyler Bate don't have any problems. That age will probably not help in just taking the new and the fresh off of him, give him a little bit more grizzled look. But they worked it like a contest. They took everything seriously. They told a nice story that didn't take any stupid risks. It didn't look like a video game. It wasn't a Memphis brawl or a bloody old-fashioned grudge match between two guys that looked like they'd kill you in a dark alley. But it was a great technical wrestling match. Some nice nods to the world of sports style. As these guys mature and get older, they've got great upsides. So I like that. Now, if anybody finds tape of either one of them wrestling girls or blow-up dolls, then I'm going to motherfuck them too. But in the meantime, fair play to you guys. Good show. Top men.
Yeah, and I talked to you various times about WWE is hard for me to get through, but I enjoy NXT, and I always tell you, you should watch a little more NXT. I always make sure you have the revival matches or anything good that happens there. And usually, even if you find things that you don't like, you actually could see what's going on and you enjoy it, which, debunks the whole myth that you just don't enjoy modern wrestling at all.
Well, but that's what's convenient, because that's what people want to hear. That's why the fucking idiot's about to be inaugurated tomorrow is in office, because that's what people want to hear.
Right. But, the one thing I wanted to point out here was this UK show, which again was a Paul Levesque production. And by the way, Kevin Dunne wasn't producing the show. Michael Cole.
No wonder I liked it.
Yeah, Michael Cole was producing it. And I just want to say, I am someone who didn't have a lot, at a certain point I started to appreciate him, but I wasn't a big Triple H fan as a wrestler. We all know about all the backstage bullshit. We all know how he gutted, and it took a while before things turned around, the developmental program. But between NXT and this, he does good. He puts on good fucking shows. I gotta say. He deserves credit for what he's been doing.
Yeah, I can't disagree with what you just said. But in this case, I liked it, so that's why you're only going to hear about it here, folks, and nowhere else, because it was complimentary to two guys that worked hard and took their business seriously and didn't just whore themselves out for a payoff or for self-gratification or jack himself off or whatever it is. This fucking Omega's problem is that he wants to be a goddamn video game character or whatever. And it wasn't, for what they were doing, it may have been a 4-star match. It wasn't 5 stars. It wasn't Lawler and Funk or Flair and Steamboat. And they're young, and it was a tournament match, a brand new promotion. So, give them a break. But there is no 6-star match. And I think we beat that horse pretty much to death.